Three friends share dreams of the lives they wish they had. The ambition and dedication to become the next great petty crime thief. The feeling of being lost and wanting to be loved by someone. Or the yearning for the family one has never had. Today we put on our nose tape and go on the lam as we go into the mind of Wes Anderson and do a watch along on his feature film, Bottle Rockets.
Bum, bum, bum.
This is a Comic Talkers production, and you are listening to Just for Flicks.
What's going on, guys? It is your boy, Patty B, as always. With me today is my co-host, the main man, Mr. B-Dog, Mr. Brandon. What's going on, man? How you doing?
I'm excited. This is a movie you got me into, and I thought this is going to be so stupid. But it's one that makes you laugh so hard when you get into the story of it. And of course, we're talking about Wes Anderson's very first movie ever made, Bottle Rocket.
Yes, sir. This is one of my personal favorites. This is one of my favorite Wes Anderson movies. He's definitely done some really good ones. Fantastic Mr. Fox, The Life Aquatic
Hotel,
View.
yeah,
What's that?
the Grand Budapest Hotel.
Budapest Hotel. I wasn't a big fan of The French Dispatch, but I know some people are. The Royal Tenenbaums, right?
Mhm.
Rushmore. But yeah, no, Bottle Rocket's the one that started it all, and I think you really get to see the creative mind of what he is. He's really known for his color palettes and showing colors and how it reflects off one another, certain characters, stuff like that. That witty dialogue, the smart aleck dialogue. It's just great, and I think every time I watch his movies, I pick up on something new every time I watch him. You know. I could say that for this movie. I can say that for Rushmore. Pretty much every movie. It's fun to watch. It's fun to see the young careers of the Wilson brothers, right? Their first movie, pretty much what started their careers off.
Mhm.
Um, I just love the characters in this movie too. I think you can really kind of gravitate towards them as well.
Like our normal watch alongs, we're going to start three, two, one. Pat will kind of give you time frames every so often, kind of where we stand. We're going to kind of talk about different things we see throughout the movie. We're going to talk about it, enjoy the conversations, hear the witty dialogue, laugh. You might cry. You might just go insane.
What
Just
part do you think you could cry at?
oh nothing. Just putting it out there. That's
Okay,
the point. There might be scenes people cry in, but cry a
gonna
laugh.
have just gonna go wham,
Wah,
just say wham.
wah, wow, wow,
Just
oh, wow.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Dignan's gonna
Wow.
wham, cry me a river.
Rah, rah. Anyway,
Do something, guys.
ka-chow. Anyway,
Old
uh,
Scourge.
but we're gonna go three, two, one. We're gonna jump into it again. We're doing Bottle Rocket, Wes Anderson's first film. Also stars Luke Wilson and Owen Wilson. So Pat, you ready to go?
I am ready for it. Let's go in three, two, one. Play time.
The iconic Columbia Pictures thing. You ever wonder, like, you get it in some movies still, but you don't see it a lot anymore.
The
Like,
lantern,
yeah, the lantern, yeah.
or is that a lantern? Oh, just a
Yeah,
torch.
yeah, it's a lantern.
So graceful too. I know Columbia does a lot of Quentin Tarantino movies, and that's why.
Well, they do the Spider-Verse movies, and but theirs is kind of cool because it's like that, and then they'll like turn into alternate versions. So we get our first look at Anthony. Now,
Anthony Adams.
he makes you laugh so hard too, because he's in a voluntary insane asylum.
Yep.
Dignan outside, ready for him to escape, trying to give him signals.
I love how he's looking back. He's just like, but no, this is oh man, the music, dude. I love that's just my favorite part of this movie too, is the music. Mark Mothersbaugh does a fantastic score in this movie. He does a lot of I was gonna say Quentin Tarantino. A lot of Wes Anderson's movies. So but this has got like this jazzy, like bossa nova feeling to it. It just really sets the tone for this movie.
It's Will
Um,
Ferrell from Anchorman. He's got that jazzy flute.
yeah, you
Oh,
play jazz flute class.
yeah, the doctor does come in and he sees this is one of my favorite scenes. Guy sees the blank and he's like, "Are you kidding me?
I don't
You,
like this. I don't like this at all.
this is a voluntary insane asylum. You could just walk out." You know, it's
Mhm. My friend Dignan didn't
he's
realize
so
this was a
excited.
voluntary hospital.
He's so excited though.
I did not know. It's just so great. Like
And he's sitting there
the
like,
doctor looks out. Look how excited he is. This is one of Owen Wilson's best roles. I don't care what you say. Like, if you had to, like, honestly, like,
okay, so
rank
you
his
would put this
roles,
over Marley and Me. You would put this over Lightning. You put
I
this over
would
Wedding Crashers.
I would put it next to Lightning McQueen, but I'd for sure think it would be in his top 5, for
So you
sure.
would put this over Wedding Crashers.
If I had a top 5, I would put Wedding Crashers in it as well.
Yeah.
And I'm also I'm a sucker for the Shanghai movies.
Okay. Okay. This I'll tell you this though, I don't like Luke Wilson with long hair. This is one of my favorite scenes. So the doctor finally agrees to him doing this, and he's supposed to be running, and then he stops. Like, hey, nice knowing you. You know, hopefully, do good. And he just runs away. And Dig's like,
He's so
yeah,
con
yeah.
He looks kinda confused too. You're like, What's going on?"
Who's
Any
your dad?
problems?
Yeah. And he's like, I brought the janitor.
Oh, dude, that's the best one of the best lines. "Smart, smart." He's like
Smart. You know.
this is one of my favorite parts right here too, this iconic swing shot from Wes Anderson. You know how he's iconic for having being focused on and just swinging it like that, and it's like the very first one out of all. It's cool. Cool color palette too. Like I said, the red notebook is always sticking out to me in this movie.
Others he writes too.
Yeah.
Like orange and red and blue.
So Dignan has this 75-year plan, right, where he's just sketching out all the petty crimes that he wants to commit and how he wants to structure his crew. And Mr. Henry is going to be a character that plays a pretty decent role in the movie. He's You're going to find out who that is later on, but it's going to gravitate more towards him towards the end. So I've noticed in this movie too, just with both of them, with Anthony and Dignan,
Yeah.
Anthony's always wearing red and Dignan's always wearing white. Like at least Dignan has some kind of white on him at all times.
Yeah. And then they're about to go do their first practice run. Anthony's own home.
At Anthony's house, yeah. Should be easy, right? That's a pretty And it seems like Anthony's character is kind of shunned from his family, right? Like,
Yes.
love the house again with all the cool.
Uh-huh.
It's crazy to think about it too, because like when I first watched this movie, I never thought anything of that. And then like when I got more into Wes Anderson's movies, because I watched this movie when I was maybe like 12, and then I didn't watch it again for another 10 years. So in between that time, a lot changed, and once I watched it more and more, it's man, dude, really kind of set the bar for a lot of his movies, I think personally. I mean, I think a lot of people would have this ranked high on their list for Wes Anderson movies.
I
I
put
mean,
it up there on mine. Like I think, but remember, that's also coming from a sense of like other than this, Rushmore and a couple others, I'm not the biggest person when it comes to Wes Anderson. So
yeah,
my
I
picks
get you.
are more limited to compared to others. Um, Wes Anderson has just never been one that's ever interested me to watch. Other than when then I watched the Grand Budapest and then I enjoyed it.
Grand
I,
Budapest is really good.
I thought the colors in that is amazing. The
Dude,
purple,
I love the scene where the conveyor belt's going through and he's stabbing all the stuff. It's so satisfying.
so So they get to this scene. This scene, they're starting like, okay, yeah, we did so well in our first heist. Yeah, we got good, and then but Anthony's kind of like, well, we just robbed my family's house. Like,
I
how
like
is
how
good?
he looks away immediately as soon as he says the earrings.
Yeah,
You took the earrings?
I will say Luke Wilson looks terrible with long hair still. It does not flatter him whatsoever. Makes him look like Coconut Head from Ned's Classified School Survival Guide. Seriously. And this is the first time you see Dignan go into his little fits because Anthony goes, "Well, have you ever thought about robbing your house?" Like, no, I thought
Can't still
about
mother my mom and crying.
yeah. And then he gets all pissed. Like he stops and then like jog. I'm like, oh
You're about to meet Anthony's sister, Grace. This is the only time you're gonna see her character in the movie.
yeah, which that's something else I want to bring up. For him to try to be this inspiring person later on in the movie that we see, why do we only see her once?
Yeah,
Like,
I like the letter that he writes to her, though. I mean,
but
that's
I
kind of,
mean, but yeah, but you don't get to see her and like see her reaction if that's what he's trying to do.
but he does that in a lot of his movies. There's a lot of things that he kind of leaves unsatisfied. Like in, I don't want to spoil stuff, but like I'll say in like Steve Zissou, like there's like the whole movie, there's this kind of notation that Bill Murray is Owen Wilson's character's dad, if that makes sense. Like he's the father of his character. But there's like that uncertainty and it never really ever confirms it within the film. And it kind of just by the time the movie ends, it just never really explains it. But it's also more accepting. Like you would have to watch it to understand what I'm saying,
Right.
um, but yeah, that's like for an example at least from what I've noticed. But that's what I like about his movies too. It's kind of cool because they're short and a lot of his movies are kind of short and sweet too. Could we agree on that? I mean, this movie's only an hour and 31 minutes.
Right. Now, what was it during this scene? We see what was it? We see that his sister's kind of like embarrassed of him, and but she does warn him that Dignan's a liar. She likes Dignan, but Dignan's a liar.
Mhm.
Now we get to meet Bob for the first time. Now Bob's one of my favorite characters. I
Oh,
love Bob in
I
this
like Bob
movie
too.
so bad. I really want to be part of this team. Like he's really trying to tell Dignan, like,
I'm a
"Hey, I
reader.
deserve to be part of this team. Like, I'm the only one that has a fucking car, kind of thing. Like, you need to listen to me. Like, I'm the one that's gonna cart your butt."
Grow an entire crop of marijuana in his backyard.
And
I love
Anthony does
that
get
line.
back her sister the earrings that Dignan stole.
Yeah,
Put it back.
you have a terrible. What does he say? That's funny. So
Yeah, and then Anthony now gets back in the car with them. Now, kind of like tell him like she thinks of me as an embarrassment.
hmm
You know, this is the thing I don't like, and this is something I hate about this movie, and it doesn't even show him driving, but like 2 seconds, and then he gets out of the car. It just automatically he's just walking out of the car. It's like, well, why not drive and show us like maybe why he got pissed off, why
hmm
he is like this. That's one of those things with Wes Anderson I don't like. It's like he just cuts scenes, and it's like that was kind of a bad part for you to cut
Huh? I
because
don't
you
know.
completely
He,
different areas too.
nothing really happened in between. Maybe they just drove and he needed to pull over, and then
But
because
it's
they
like
get back to the
it's
car
completely
eventually.
different area, everything.
But I think this also kind of explains how. I think in a way it kind of explains how much his sister kind of means to him, right? The opinion of his sister. the fact because that's pretty much all he has left, or at least you know we think.
Now, during this scene, of course, gets Dignan gets out and tells him, "Yeah, this is what we're doing it for. We're doing it for Mr. Henry. This is my goals. I want to be a team like Mr. Henry and work for him ever."
One of my favorite little lines, all these little side lines that they do, especially from Anthony's character. Oh, that was a stop sign.
Here's
They're
Bob.
really good about showing their emotions in the background, I've noticed. Like, if you look at their facial expressions in the background and how they, like, react and stuff, they're really good at expressing that.
And we get Bob's brother for the first time in this movie too. And again, another shot with great color.
Yes.
With
Yes,
Luke.
this is one of my favorite parts, yeah. Oh, yeah, the pool part.
Yeah, it's like, here, another. I told him to clean the goddamn pool.
It was one leaf.
Yeah, what leave? Like, it's funny to hear them arguing in the background.
I wish you could hear it more, like, more of their side, or maybe even, like, if there was, like, a deleted scene of their reaction, like, their scene in the house.
Right. Come on, man. It's like you can hear some of it. It makes you laugh so hard that Bob's going through all this.
My name's Dignan.
Wow.
Dignan kinda looks awkward in this.
Well, because Dickman is all about what he wants. And yeah, remember, Anthony is still trying to, okay, please him, but he wants a life of his own. And I think we get that more later on too. Like something that he really wants,
Mhm.
kind of thing. I think this is the one scene that's just kind of awkward. I
It
think
is,
I agree with you. Like at this point, I'd rather hear them arguing in the back than to hear these guys talk.
yeah. This is
Like,
like
I
a
feel like
pointless
this scene is really just unneeded.
it's a pointless conversation.
And you see him in the background fighting. It's like that's more entertaining than seeing Anthony talk to a woman here. It is my favorite part of the movie. I don't care. The
Yeah.
gun scene.
You like the gun part?
The gun scene is one of my favorite parts of this movie.
I love the song in it.
Yeah. Well, I love Bob's first gun he shoots. It's like he's the bigger guy out of all of them. And he's got the little tiniest gun, like, it's like
This is like one of the
that's the
main
one working
the
out
main
of it.
posters of the movie too, is when they're shooting the guns.
Yeah.
Look at Dignan. They get the biggest gun possible.
It's like, put the gun down,
That's like a 44 Magnum, I think.
It is. It's a Magnum. Bob, put the gun down. I'm trying to concentrate.
How about the gun?
The explosives really necessary? Everybody, attention. On the gun. Keep the gun on the table.
Dude, I love Dignan's shirt.
Yeah.
Need that shirt.
Bought the gun.
Why does he say it? Like, I don't get it.
It's like the funny thing. He looks right at Anthony when he says it, and even Anthony's like, "Don't say it." He's like,
And he's like, I bought the gun.
and he picks up the gun again.
Good Bob. Good old Bob.
Love him.
I love Bob's character.
And I love how Anthony goes pulls the chair out for Dignan to come back in after they're trying to calm him down. I'm under a lot of pressure right now. I just love how they're having all like a therapy moment right now, and then they're like, "Okay, we're gonna go rob a bank, or we're gonna go rob a store."
Wow.
Wow.
I don't know if we're really gelling, guys. Yeah, team.
And they all go back to normal.
I like that quality of Dignan, how he's so forgiving, but it's like kind of strange how he's just so forgiving, like
Yeah.
the way he flips like that, you know?
Let me tell you something about. So we're gonna get into their robbery, right? Why the heck do they just wear tape on them? Like, what in your right mind thought tape is gonna be the only thing you need to put? Why not a mask? Why not something else?
Yeah, he has like there's no cover or nothing.
Like, oh,
Why is he gonna out of all the places to rob to, you rob a bookstore?
rob a bookstore.
Yeah, when in doubt, rob a bookstore. What about that guy?
I left some money in there. Oh, where? It's like in
And
the cash register.
this actor is also in Rushmore.
Which one?
He's in the very first scene
The guy that opens the door from, or
in Rushmore.
like I've never paid attention. The guy, in this movie, the guy who opens the door for him at the bookstore, or
Yeah,
the
yeah, yeah. His character,
okay,
that actor. Yeah, he's in Rushmore in the very first scene. He's the math teacher, and then his dad is Kumar.
oh okay,
Yeah, they were from so I think they were from the same town because they're all from Texas, like Wes Anderson and the Wilson brothers.
oh,
And then that's how Owen Wilson met Wes Anderson was like through school.
yeah, 'cause they're all childhood friends. I remember you telling me that.
And then in the credits, you'll see too. It says written by it says
Oh
written by Wes Anderson and Owen Wilson. Yeah. So is Rushmore.
yeah. Now this is one of the favorite things. They're so unprepared. He doesn't even bring a bag, and he's like, "Hey, give me one of those bags." And it's like the old zip, like the store bags.
What's the gun at him? Wow. Wow. Sit tight.
We're going on a limb. Go, go, go! I love how they say they're going on the lamb, and then they go right back to Bob's place.
Before we divide the loot, does it ever really explain Bob's bandage on his ear?
No, well, it might be his brother because he
God,
didn't have
so
bandage on his ear before.
he didn't have it. Okay.
No, he didn't have it before. I think his brother did it to him.
Now's not a good
Cut
time.
me out, you son of a bitch! You were gonna cut me out. Love him, love Bob. Well,
This is so funny. It's the picture of Mr. Henry and his crew, and Bob is like,
that, that's a
that's the
landscape.
Lawnwranglers. That's the landscaping company that we hire.
That's the
Which,
guy that Dignan used to work for.
which basically means that they're just scoping out Bob's house basically to rob the whole time.
Yes, they're landscapers.
And I love later in the movie when we meet that part, we meet that crew. It really connects everything, right? Like everything kind of makes a little bit more sense.
Right. Now they're gonna start going on the lam. It's like it's like like okay, you robbed a bookstore.
Yeah, I
They
don't think we need to go
rob
on
a
the lam. Yeah.
yeah. They go get fireworks and then they go on the lam pretty much.
Yeah,
Which is stupid too. Why the heck would you go get fireworks of all stinking things to go do?
because fireworks are fun.
Well, I know that, but come on.
I don't know. Don't you like seeing things explode? I think that's pretty fun.
Yeah.
A little bit of dynamite, a little
Yeah.
bit of TNT.
No.
From dynamite, TNT. We win the fight.
No, I'm good. Oh, okay, ACDC over there.
Took you long enough.
Right.
Um, please don't tell Bob that I got fired.
Yeah. I love how Bob's just looking. I'm like, what the fuck are you guys talking about?
He's talking to the gas station attendant. I love also not only Mark Mothersbaugh doing his original songs in this, the actual soundtrack, like of actual like songs that they have in this, I love. Like it fits in with what they're with what
Yeah.
they're shooting right here. La 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 la.
This is like the stupidest thing. They're firing fireworks up on the road. I know there's nobody following them, but come
It
on.
looks like it's wintertime though, if I'm being honest with
That
you.
doesn't look like wintertime. It looks more like summer to me.
Spring? I think spring.
I think more spring. I agree with
If
spring
they're
there.
in Texas, because I feel like if they're in Texas, it's gonna be a little dry.
Yeah. Our 75-year plan, it doesn't seem to be working.
Crime does not pay. Man, that's not the greatest attitude to have.
Wow.
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 Hey, I'm gonna get the best room in the house. Crime does does pay, and then they're all three in the same room.
Don't you miss gas prices like that?
Dude,
101 and
dude,
105?
it's a Love's gas station.
Yeah. 101, $1.01 and $1.05.
So this is where I think Anthony's character makes a change. We're making it into turn two, turn three, into his character throughout this movie.
He finds
Uh, he finds love,
he
love
finds,
at first sight.
yeah. Yeah.
This is Brandon and I's favorite part of the movie. Um, not my favorite part of the movie, right? Can we say that?
It's not this is one of my, I would say, and I know we've talked about this before too. This is one of the weak points in the movie. I feel like, again, another one that's really not satisfied. Like you get it, and then you don't. Like, like they do it for about what do you say, about maybe 25 minutes, and then
Yeah, she's not really in the. She's in the movie. Like she's only in it though for
he
like
plays a big part
four
of it because
minutes.
that does change Anthony's character. But
I mean, they show her at the end too for a second, but you never see them in person again. I mean, after they're dude, Bob's always got the nice shades on in this movie, dude. He's got some nice Ray Bans when
you
they.
always wonder why the heck the dude's wearing a suit all the time, though.
He's rich.
I know, but he doesn't have to wear a suit the whole stinking
His
time. He could
parents
just
are in Singapore.
wear
I
a
heard Jackson they were in Singapore. This is a perfect little shot of the colors, right?
yeah.
Like,
Then you get the green, the blue mixed
and then
with
the color of
the
the hotel too. I mean,
yeah.
there's a couple good shots they have of this hotel where it really. I just like the creativity because this movie was made in 1996, so it's
I
just.
don't want to tell you how old I was during that time, so I'm just gonna shut up.
Were you even born?
Yeah. I was
Yeah, I was born. I was born. I was born.
I
It
love
was a long time ago.
the galaxy far, far away.
I reckon that it might have been a long time ago. Yellow bed sheets.
You know, but even that brown and the orange, that's the only thing I don't like color wise.
I like the carpet.
Yeah, and then you have the pink carpet up on the balcony, or the pink balcony kind of
I
thing.
was gonna say, is that do you think that's carpet? Because man,
It looks like carpet. The way
that's
it looks like
your
you want to make
boy.
something pink.
Yeah.
I think it's carpet. Imagine cleaning that.
I
Don't
could.
even want to. Don't even want to do that.
I wouldn't wish anyone on that. Who would want to do that?
You know how many complaints you get from that customer?
Okay, let's stop it now. Let's not.
Seriously, come
I'm
on.
having- Yeah, you're right. You're right.
And if you talk,
Because
if you don't
I'm
understand
not
why we
looking
say
at
that, we used to work. I used to be a carpet tech. Pat still is. I would hate that. Just gonna put it out there. The bird shit, everything that's get on
I like that's the first thing you went to.
the bird shit. Yeah, exactly what I go to first.
I can fix that.
I got this. I love how, so Inez goes to his house. Inez is his, of course, the girl that he likes. And I love how she she goes in there and then he goes around and helps her out in each room.
And like, I like how she deliberately is like, "Please don't come in. Like, don't come in." Like, obviously, that, like, not to come in. What does he do? Comes in. Doesn't make sense.
I love this part too because they're about to go get a haircut because they're gonna go on the lam. And Bob gets news that his brother is been arrested because they found the marijuana garden out in the backyard. But he doesn't also want to shave his head.
Yeah, I know that, Dignan. Well, Bob. What about hiding your identities,
Bob, wow, wow.
dude? I love Owen Wilson. He's just great.
I like Owen Wilson more than Luke. I'll be honest. Like Luke, I have never really sat there and watched a movie that I've been like, I'm satisfied with him in.
He's an old school. Old school is good.
I'm like, okay, but I feel like he's overshadowed because of who? I think that's Will Ferrell more than any. Like Will Ferrell's got more iconic stuff in that movie compared to Luke.
And Vince Vaughn.
Huh?
Forget about Vince Vaughn.
Yeah, I'm just saying. I think like Luke Wilson's just overshadowed.
Yeah,
It
but he's the main
is an
character.
Anchorman. Anchorman, he's one of my favorite anchors. He's like, look at this, and the bear rips off his other arm. Oh,
Yeah.
my
I did not see that coming.
God. And-
West Man too.
yeah,
I don't even think that's his name, but
West Man too.
yeah, another one of these. Not point. It's not pointless, but it's just not one of my favorite parts of the movie.
Well, it's like them trying to get to know each other.
Yeah,
And
and
it's kind of awkward scene a little bit.
yeah, and mind you, like her character is not fluent in English at all, too. So he's trying to communicate with her throughout the movie. Have they introduced Rock? Or I think you're gonna see Rocky's character
Yeah,
in this.
Rocky's about to come up right now
Yeah,
because he's in the party.
I like Rocky. He's cool. Not really in it.
But Bob is about to tell, or Bob's already kind of told Dignan. Bob's about to tell Anthony that he's got to go.
It's some tactics.
I just love how Bob's like, he's so impatient.
It looks like a nice soiree. I like how I was like, "This, my name's Jerry, and this is my associate Cornelius."
I don't care. It's like Bob, I just love him. I don't care.
I don't care. He needs to call an attorney. You're pushing your luck. I love the rivalry between Bob and Dignan throughout this movie. Can we both agree like that? It's just like it's a culminating throughout the whole movie.
It's
And
like
I
we
love
talked about before what that came to this movie. Anthony's kind of like the mid person, right?
He is. He totally is. He's the mediator between them both.
Yeah.
He's what I think holds everything together, right? He's the
Like,
molding.
still my favorite part is when they're sitting there, he's like, I bought the gun. And it's like, say it one more time. Just say it. And Anthony's
Yeah.
like, don't say it. And he goes,
Anthony takes him to the kitchen and he's like, "Why does an asshole like Bob have such a nice kitchen?"
yeah. Now, of course, Inez and Anthony, of course, they're swimming and all that. They skinny dipping or they.
I don't know what they're doing, but this is an iconic shot in the movie as well. This is one that always sticks out to me is this pool at night.
Yeah.
I do it over at Bob's too. about to see more. I was about to say more Luke Wilson, more Anthony and Inez moments here.
The
Uh,
greatest moments.
right, the greatest moments. Inez played by Looney Cavazos, by the way, for anyone that was interested.
He's just
One thing I didn't mention either too is earlier we were introduced to Future Man or John Mapplethorpe, who is Bob's brother, who is also Luke and Owen Wilson's oldest brother,
yeah,
Andrew Wilson, which is pretty cool too. And he is also in Rushmore.
yeah.
Very small role, but he's in it. So, and like I said, we're going to meet some other characters throughout later on in the movie. But when when you first watched this, we watched this together, right?
Yeah.
For your first time. Did you know like immediately after you finished it that you were gonna want to watch it again? Because
Yeah.
it had you intrigued after the first time, I guess you
Yeah,
would
I
say.
kind of wanted to go back. For most movies, most of the time I can do it in one try and understand it. But
Mhm.
I think with Wes Anderson, it's like I said, there's so many things that are just left unsatisfied that it's kind of like, did I miss something? Did I not see something he was trying to show? I think that's where my confusions came in. And then that's when I went back and I enjoyed it better the second time around than I
Mhm.
enjoyed it the first, and seeing all the stuff that's happened and stuff like that. It's like every time you watch a movie, you learn something new about it. I've watched the movie, say, for example, I've watched the Batman, the Dark Knight series, right? Many times. I always learn something new that I've never noticed about it.
Yeah.
It's just the same way as this one. Like every time I watch it, I see something different, you know?
Yeah, no, definitely. I mean, every time, like I was saying earlier too, every time I see something different when I watch his movies, or you pick up on something like it's like something somebody says will connect to something later, or it connects to another character.
Right.
Um,
Now,
you got Bob.
yeah, Bob does, after talking with them and they felt like they talked him down, he does take the car and go back. And we are going to find out that Anthony is the one that told him, like he knew the
Perfect,
whole time that
perfect line right here too. By the way, Bob's gone. He stole his car.
he stole his car. He, he was,
We flew the coop while we were sleeping. He's got no character.
and I play speaking of nose. See, again, another scene that it just cuts from one scene right to the next. And I
Yeah.
don't like that. I think that's where Wes Anderson, I feel, fails.
Well, no, this is just like later on in the day, right?
Yeah, but it's still the point. It just cuts from one scene and then goes totally different. Like when we're talking about Bob, we go right to a next again. And it's like, come on.
Well, that's how he keeps his movies short. I mean, oh, by the way, we are at an astonishing 36 minutes and 48 seconds of playtime.
Bum, bum, bum.
Man, I am loving every second of this movie so far. I know we have some slow moments between Anthony and Nez, but no, for the most part, this movie, that's what makes this movie so great, I think, too, is just the length that it's at. I think it doesn't take you out, right? It's straight to the points, and I think that's maybe why you don't like it a little bit. But also, I think that's the point of it. We're trying to get to the next thing.
But okay, but see, I'm gonna put it this way.
Yeah.
I think that's why Wes Anderson really hasn't been put up for a lot of awards. Like he gets some credit, but compared to some of the other stuff, it's like that's where you fail.
Hmm.
Like Grand Budapest Hotel was really one of his last big hits.
Yeah.
Like he had, I think it was Best Picture nominated, and he,
Yeah.
I think it was Best Director, Best Color. Like there was a lot of awards, and they did win a few of them. Like I think they won Best Score, and then they won something else. I think Best Set Design,
Hmm.
but they didn't win anything else. And I feel like that's where he fails because compared to some of these other directors he's going up against, the other ones do sometimes feel like a complete story compared to what we get from Wes Anderson.
Hmm.
Like, do you agree with me, or you see what I'm saying there, or what's your opinion on
Um,
Because at this point, I don't really care. We see that Anthony's going to go back to Inez, and they're about to get their thing on. So at this point, I don't care.
They're about to have sexy time.
Sexy time is good.
They're about to have sexy time.
Anyway,
No, but where are you gonna have me at? Yeah, as far as like winning awards, like for sure, yeah. No, I get what you're saying. Totally understand it. I mean, I just watched what was it? His newest one. Astro, I don't know if you watched it. Probably not, knowing you.
no.
I don't blame you. It wasn't you're not missing much, but I think like you said, Grand Budapest was probably the last big thing I think he did. I wasn't a big fan of the French Dispatch. I really wasn't. Uh it's just kind of a blah movie to me.
Like it's not that I can't say he doesn't have hits, but compared to
No, no,
some,
no. You know,
that's just
I
better.
also I also think like the stories he's trying to tell, like some of them doesn't fit right with the format that he goes with, if that makes sense. Like there's some great stories, like this movie, great story.
Right.
Like it's quick. Obviously, there's some parts that are kind of filler. Like I said, the Inez thing is really just to establish Anthony's character as far as changing into the fact of he has that person that he gets love from or is loved by because he doesn't have anyone else in his life that reflects on him like that. So
I think my thing is and that's the thing. Like compared, like Grand Budapest Hotel is just that witty. It's campy. It's fun. It's the music is just
the
fun.
creativity as far as like he uses a lot of like miniature things in that when they're going down the hill and the ski I love that scene with
That's my favorite because the score with that
yeah,
too, it's just amazing how he.
yeah, it's great.
Uh, but
I love all the scenes. I'm sorry. I love all the scenes within the hotel itself too. Like in the lobby. Those are good. But sorry.
we get our first racist scene with Owen Wilson. Oh no, amigo, indignant. Were you in the army? Or just short hair? We'll play some pool.
Short hair.
And then this is another scene like Bob and his brothers, where you see Dignan start playing pool with some of the guys in the bar, and he's gonna start getting his ass whooped.
I love these shots, man. This is a cool shot too. I love how he does those shots where somebody comes out and then it just follows them, right? It follows them to their destination, like the guy that just came out of the bar follows them to Anthony and Inez. It's smooth. It's simple but smooth, and I like it. He does it in a majority of his movies. Another one that I like was earlier when I pointed out when he does the iconic the swing shot. You know, it's just it's what he does.
Right.
So
And
a lot
Dignan,
of his cinematography is what I really like about him too, about his movies. He's really creative with what he can do.
now I love those shots too, like when you had like Anthony and Inez sitting there in front of the window, and then you see Dignan get the living crap beat out of them.
Yeah, yeah, right. All in the background.
Yeah, and then it was like the funniest thing. He's like, "Oh, what?" And then the guy just like slow punch, and it hurts. Like it's like a pow. Um,
Man, if I got punched in the face, I would definitely want French fries. Would you want French fries after you getting punched in the face?
I would want a beer, and
You
then
want-
oh yeah,
What about,
cold
what about like hot, fresh, salty French fries with an ice cold
frosty.
chocolate milkshake? Yeah, or frosty. That's
So we're
fine,
saying we're going to Wendy's. Heck yeah, I'm down. I'd be down to go to Wendy's for that.
dude. Stop. You gonna get us Wendy's right now? Go get us Wendy's. I can hold the fort down.
Yeah, this podcast is sponsored by Wendy's. Yeah,
Oh man, yeah.
we
Thanks.
love it. Sponsor.
Thank, thank you, Dave Thomas. Gotta love those square patties, dude. I love Wendy's though. Wendy's, shout out to Wendy's.
Thank
Speaking
you.
of Wendy's, there's some Wendy's colors going on right there. I see some Wendy's colors in that room. I just closed the door. I have to go get a 4 for 4.
Sweet.
Wow, my name's Jignan. I'm here to say I'm the pettiest thief in the USA. My
Uh-huh.
nose is broken.
$1
My
trillion. Oh, that's what Dickman becomes. Becomes Doctor Evil.
Doctor Evil. Doctor, where's Doctor Evil hiding, baby?
Right.
Right. Okay, so we got Mr. Anthony Adams and Inez. Does Inez have a last name?
We don't know. Yeah.
It's just Inez.
And we got Rocky.
Yo,
The rookie.
yo, translate for you, Adrian. It's just 3 minutes. I just can't do it. No, Paulie, can you do it? Man, get started on that Paulie debacle.
Oh my God. Let's not go back down that road.
Let's not step into the ring. Um, right now we got Anthony Adams though, kind of confessing his love to Inez, right?
With a translator.
With the translator, so it's a little rough. But I also think he kind of messes up when I guess it's part of it, but when he says like when we had sex today, she immediately gets embarrassed and because he's doing it through a translator too. And also
Even Rocky's like,
yeah, right. Well, Rocky and Inez are also they're coworkers. So it's like they kind
I
of already
was
know
waiting
each
for Rocky to go, he's
other.
like,
They're nice.
or my brother, my man,
He's like, well, nice. I love that. Wait, what did you do again? I flick wrists.
You got this.
I put flashers on. Flashers. Hazards away. What are we doing here? Having a good time. That's what we're having.
Yeah, it's like you said, Luke, or I was going to say Luke Wilson. Anthony confesses his love.
Yep. Where are we going?
And they go back to where Rocky's supposed to be working, and they're like, "Yeah, we're going to continue this drama."
¿Por qué no? You're like paper. You're trash. Gee, when he says that too, like she just called you trash, bro.
Like,
What are
bro,
you gonna do with that? But it kind of takes a turn for the worse, right? He was kind of on a high from being on so low, being in, the mental hospital.
Right.
And now he's getting kind of crushed here because the woman that he instantly fell in love with doesn't really want to go with him indignant, and rightfully so. I mean, like,
who would want to go with petty theft criminals?
dude,
They're on the land for robbing a bookstore.
yeah, no, 100%. It's just like, I don't, there's the logic behind that, but I get it. They're in love, they're young, they
They're
want to get,
free.
what's that?
They're free.
I want to break free. I want to break free. I want to flap my wrists all day.
Very nice.
Nice. Put flashers on. Yeah, anywho.
What are we doing?
Anthony Adams is crushed. Much like grapes at a winery. Crushed.
I want to break free.
So big part in the movie, I think. This is one you gotta really stick on to. Dylan's giving Inez an envelope saying, really enjoyed our stay. Any of our friends that might be around, we will recommend them to you. And Inez gives him a hug. Take care of Anthony, please. And
make sure he's okay.
Make sure he's okay.
And then he goes, very nice.
Feel a lot better. Had French fries and got a good night's rest. Wow. Ka-chow. So long. And so Inez is like, okay, I got this envelope. Man, Rocky. I gotta grab Rocky. Very cool shot right here too. Another one that I really like. The staircase.
I love this scene entirely. He's like,
This is the last time we see the hotel.
I love how Rocky comes out and says, "Tell Anthony I love him," and Dignan's just like,
Do what?
"All
Okay.
right." It's like his,
I love that look. He's like just
"All right, man."
flabbergasted. So Dignan's gonna Dignan, and he's gonna try to steal a car.
And he fails.
No, he
Yeah,
doesn't.
he does. He's bad. I mean, he's bad. He bad.
It's a nice Cadillac. I miss old cars. They don't
Isn't
make
that
cars like they
Cobra?
used to.
Isn't that Cobra?
No,
He
I just found a. This looks like a shit box.
very nice.
And Anthony is kind of done. It seems like at this point, he's done with it. He's over it. He doesn't
Now,
want to go back to this. Now that he's met someone like Inez, he doesn't want to go back to doing what Dignan wants to do.
and now Nez is kind of reaping what she just sowed too a little bit with kind
Mhm.
of running him away. And now because now she's going off to do his own thing, her own thing now.
Reaping what you sow.
Isn't
Good,
that
good analogy. That's an even if so, they broke down their Dignan's car that he stole. Broke down. We need to go home. Anthony is insisting that they go home. They need to go to the house. They need to go to the nearest house. Call.
right?
We're broke. First of all, what's broke to you, B dog?
You don't have no money. According to them,
This is a setback.
yeah. And where's the rest of the money? And this is where
Uh,
Anthony reveals.
$16.
This is where Anthony reveals to him the envelope he gave Inez had all the money in it, and he did it to help.
No, I never gave Inez anything. And this is a little, probably a big riff in their relationship, right? Between Dignan and Anthony.
Oh, 110%. Yes, he is not take
Got
very well.
the extra 10% there. Pointless act. Don't give a $500 tip to the housekeeper. That's inappropriate.
That,
That's inexcusable. That I don't
and
forgive.
I love how Dignan starts back away. He's like, "Okay, don't get up on me. Don't get up on me.
Don't threaten me.
Don't threaten me.
She is a housekeeper, right?
I'll sue." No, no, no reaction at all, man. Whatever.
And my name's Dignan.
Wow. Now where you go?
She didn't love you, man. Yeah, well, that's great.
Wow.
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 Now, where you going? No, don't go. Ow, my face hurts.
Well, where you go?
I go where you go.
Go where you go. Yeah.
Why'd you do it, man? Please don't lay that on me.
You ever think about that, man?
Did you ever think about that? What do
Yeah.
you think Dignan was doing the whole time?
You ever think about that, man?
Dignan got fired out on his ass. No, it's easier to think about yourself than think about Dignan.
Heck yeah. No, I'm just uh,
Dignan.
bathroom. Bathroom.
Could have really injured him with that screwdriver too. It could have been a fatal blow.
Bam. I love how he just looks up at him like a face of disgust. And then he just bam. Again, another color shot with the blood.
Ding, 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 ding. Yeah, yeah. Cha cha cha. Cha 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 cha.
Cha cha cha
Cha
cha.
cha 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 cha. Cha 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 cha. Cha 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 cha. Cha cha cha. Do the cha cha. Woo woo woo.
Whoa, whoa, whoa! You
You
know
know it. Here's I love
robbery.
this is one of my favorite parts of the movie, and I feel like I keep saying that of every different scene, but whatever.
Hey,
He's writing the letter to Grace, his sister, who we met earlier in the movie, and it's how him and Bob are kind of doing their own regime, right? They're doing their own thing. He's living with Bob, working 3 jobs, trying to
and how
pay
many
for
years? How
future
many?
man's extensive legal debts. What's that?
How many? How long of a difference is this when compared to when it's all happened?
6 months.
6 months. Do I have at least $3 for gas?
The hurricanes. Why do they have Dignan in that way? He misses his friend Dignan, right? So to speak. You think he does, right? I think he does.
I think he does, like, he cares about him, but kinda after what he did to him, uh, like, if Dignan did that to me, I've been like, "Screw you." Like, I don't
Yeah.
wanna.
Love the green car.
There we go in their banana suits. God.
We meet another character in here. Well, eventually. We start to meet Mr. Henry and his crew, right?
I hate the yellow jumpsuits, it makes them look like bananas running around.
Well, Future
Even
Man
the
says
girl.
that. You look like a little banana. I love those the close up shots of the face. Like it's their face, but like off to the side is like some scenery a little bit. He's doing that right now with both, like right now with the Anthony. We are at 56 minutes and 8 seconds, ladies and gents. So they shake hands. They mend fences. There are fences in the hallway, or in that hallway. I'll stop talking. Meet Applejack, who is part of Mr. Henry's crew. Who you're actually going to meet Mr. Henry right now, and I love Mr. Henry's place. His little warehouse he's got.
But I don't like the guy who plays Mr. Henry. Like in the
I
movie.
disagree. I think we can get into that now. Mr. Henry is played by none other than James Caan, who is in the Godfather movies. He's in Elf. He's in Misery. A lot of great movies.
What would you say is your favorite role of James Caan?
Mr. Henry. No, I'm joking. I would say Misery. I like him in Misery.
I'd say either Misery or kind of an underdog one. I'm putting Elf up there. I like him in Elf.
Yeah, I don't know. He's not really in this movie, right? It's just his character is great though. Like,
Out of all the actors, he's the big name actor here.
oh, 100%. He's the biggest actor in the movie.
Yeah. But he was kind of an like you remember. I remember you telling me that Bill Murray was the one slated for this role.
Yeah, he wanted Bill Murray, and that's why Bill Murray's in most of his movies.
Yeah.
This is like the only one that Bill Murray's not in, I think. Other than I don't think he's in Grand Budapest.
I don't think so. I think. Well, remember, there's two. I thought he was in one of them.
He's in Royal Tenenbaums. He's in Steve Zissou. He's the main character in Steve
He's
Zissou.
Rushmore.
What's that?
Rushmore.
He's in Mr. Fox.
Mm-hmm.
He's in Darjeeling Unlimited.
Yep.
Have you seen Darjeeling Unlimited or Limited?
I've heard of the movie. I know who's in it, but I've never watched
I
it.
got you. And he's not really in that movie. I mean, he's in it, but he's not.
He's there, but he's not.
He's there, but he's not. Welcome to Bar. Wait, what? Mr. Henry, dude, he's a pimp. He's
Him.
he's a pimp, P-I-M-P.
I
No,
love
I
how
don't.
he's got the crocodile Dundee necklace around him. Like, yeah, I got some.
And his beret.
He is beret. He looks stupid in a beret.
It's his character, bro. I love his car though. His car's pretty cool.
This is the only movie James Caan is in for a Wes Anderson film.
Yes. One and done. I think there's a couple actors and actresses that are like that in his movies. Like um Gwyneth Paltrow was only in Royal Tenenbaums. Uh who's another one would be Danny Glover's also in that too. He didn't really use Danny Glover after other people. But there are a lot of people he does use. Bill Murray, Willem Dafoe, Adrian Brody,
Mm.
the Wilson brothers, uh, a couple other people. There's the guy that plays Zero in Grand Budapest. He's in a bunch of his movies too.
I hate him and his little dirt bike.
So Dignan's showing up to Bob's house. Anthony's outside. He's gonna try to get him to. So the whole point of meeting Mr. Henry there was trying to get Anthony to join the crew, right? And he's like, "Are you in?" And kind of pans out to this. And I guess I could see why that bugs you a little bit, right? We're at that part in Mr. Henry's, you know, residence, I guess you would say, and it's saying, "Are you in for the job?" And then it just pans out to this. I could see why that's can be an issue because it's like, what happened there? Why are we all of a sudden at Bob's house?
Right. I love his brother, like or Bob's brother, like, what the hell are you wearing?
They're in a yellow Bronco too. I never really looked at the car in this part. That's a nice Bronco.
The Lawnwranglers?
Keep up the mowing, Kimosabe.
I hate
Sometimes
this little bike that
I'm
he
not
rides.
always I'm not always as confident as I look. That is like that. I think that explains Dignan right there. I don't know. Just that's like a perfect line from him.
Right.
Now Anthony's gonna tell Dignan that he's like, damn it, I'm in. I'm in. Let's do this job. And Dignan automatically gets excited, right? Kind of like a little kid in the candy store, right? This is what Dignan loves to do. This is what Dignan was born to do,
Right.
to be a petty crime thief. And he thinks that he's gonna mastermind. He wants him to mastermind the plan. Anthony wants him to mastermind the plan. He wants Bob to join the crew again, which he is reluctant. Right? He's like, "All right, what's the third one?" He's like, "You got to give me one of these ugly yellow jumpsuits that B Dog loves so much."
It is like one of the ugliest outfits ever. It's like you wonder where they got it from Fortnite, the big old banana suit. That's exactly where they got it from. And I hate this scene too. His karate moves, James Gunn.
Dude, I love this.
His,
This is so funny.
his,
James Gunn
his
doing
positioning is like, and I'm like, what the heck is this?
Mr. Rowboats in his underwear.
Yeah. Hey.
Where's Bob, the rich kid? The one that we're trying to scope out his house. I like this night scene. This is a cool one.
But you want me to be honest? This is where I think the colors kind of got ugly here because they put Dignan. This is the only time you don't see Dignan in white.
Yeah, that's right. He's in dark.
You have Luke has some white on him.
Bob's always wearing a suit. He's wearing a collar and a jacket. They're rotten. He said 48 hours.
And then backyard right now.
This is my house, asshole. The nighttime with the trees with the pool. That's a cool shot.
I love that See, he punches him. And they get in a fight. Like,
He knocked over Anthony too. Again, Anthony's the mediator, right?
right.
Always got Bob and Dignan kind of going at it.
And then they hug it out. I'm sorry. What are we doing?
I'm gonna hug him. What are we doing? Wow,
Wow.
man.
Wow. I'm sorry, man. Wow.
Roberto, let me get something straight. You don't play any golf. I love James Caan's
I
line.
don't.
I don't I know you don't like his character, but I do, man. And it's perfect because he's a big actor. Yes, he's well established by this point. I mean, he was in one of the greatest movies of all time, in The Godfather, in Godfather Part Two as well. Um, but for how big of an actor he is, he's not really in this movie much. But the parts that he's in, just his dialogue and just the way he acts,
The,
it's just that's what his character is supposed to be, and
but
that's
I
why I
think
love so much. He
that's,
executes it.
that's where I think that's where he tries too hard. Now I'm a James Caan fan. I like James Caan. But the thing is that there are times that actors do act too hard.
Mhm.
It just gets to the point where it's like, okay, this is you just like you know in your heart this is not them. This is doesn't suit them very well. Like James Caan, like you said, you look at him in gangster films, you look at him in
Yeah.
Misery in that torturous role. You
Yep.
know, you look at him here and it's kind of like, I don't see you here. Like it's like what you're comparing it to me is how I look at it. It's like, Silence of the Lambs, right? Silence of the Lambs has what 20 minutes of playtime with Anthony Hopkins,
But yes.
and what did he got an Oscar nomination and won.
Well, I'm not saying that he deserves an Oscar. Okay.
Nah, the James Caan was just this was just an awkward role for him to take. Like Bill Murray, I could have seen in this role. That witty, comedic, everything.
And you no longer have any friends.
Hey, yeah. It was like the stupid, hey, yeah. And I'm like, oh,
I'm just having some fun with my brother.
wow. Hey, yeah. It's like,
Are you okay here? I'm not gonna say it, but this is one of my favorite lines of the movie.
yeah. We can't say it out loud, fans.
No. But if you want to listen to it, it's at an hour and 7 minutes and 30 seconds. If you want to hear what he said. Anywho, we are going to the site of where this heist is going to take place, Hinkley Cold Storage. And this is a big breakthrough and towards the ending of this movie. I mean, realistically, we only have about 23 minutes left in this movie. Um, and we have an iconic thing going on here where this is the very first time in cinematic history, folks, where Owen Wilson says his very first wow,
Wow.
very first one. Wow. He's pole vaulting. There he goes. I think this is iconic for cinema history. What do you think, Mr. B Dog?
For him being iconic as he is for that, yes.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. For how big that this
For
phrase,
everybody, it's like a meme, right? Everybody looks at it and goes, wow, 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 wow. It's a meme. Everybody that meme.
yeah. I mean, realistically, when you see him, that's one of the first things you say in your head, right? Oh
Wow,
wow, it's Owen Wilson.
wow. The sky is
Why
blue.
does he say it so much though? Like, what's going on? Said he loved you. So Anthony just realized that Rocky was translating for Inez when she said, "I loved him," or "I love," tell Anthony I love him.
And so what does he do? He's gonna go try to call and see if she gets a hold of him. He gets
Absolutely, dude. He's just
I never understood this scene. Okay, you have the stinking orange couch with Dignan and Mr. Henry. You get this awkward little stuffed taxidermy cat.
bobcat, dude. It's a bobcat. Don't hate on the bobcat. First off, and don't hate on that couch. That couch is freaking awesome. It looks so comfortable.
Looking at that bobcat is like, what the heck is that? Like that's just random sitting in the middle of the floor.
Just leave the bobcat alone, okay? Meow. Just meow.
Yeah.
Meow, meow, meow. I
Oh,
feel like that this sunburnt orange couch though that Mr. Henry and Dignan are sitting on. It's a very nice couch. Anyway, Anthony's trying to call Inez. He was trying to reach Inez on, this with the motel or the hotel number. Meanwhile, Dignan is telling Mr. Henry that, I think it would be a lot better if I did this one alone.
right.
And he's asking why. And when he asks him that, Dignan goes, you know, if it's just if you come with us, it's another score by 8, Henry, right?
Right.
And it kind of shows that Dignan he wants to do something on his own, and he wants to be the person that does it, right? He wants to be the leader of it,
Right.
and he's kind of shown that throughout the whole movie. But Mr. Henry's like, "You got the hearts of a goddamn lion." Meanwhile, meanwhile, you got Anthony finally gets a hold of Inez, and this is the last time we see Inez, by the way, in the movie. She is mentioned in the very last scene, but this is the last time you see her on screen.
It's like he gets all excited that he finally got a hold of her.
Yes.
Yes.
No, I'm at a park. Look at these old vintage '90s phones. Gotta love them, right?
And then Bob's just like following him, like, what are you doing? Doing
Bob,
Anthony.
where are they at? Like, this is just
I
some
think
random
I
park.
think they're at Bob's house.
That's not Bob's house.
Looks like it.
I think it's the country club.
Either that or it's Mr. Henry's.
Oh, it could be Mr. Henry's. You know what? It might be Mr. Henry's house. Because Mr. Henry seems like he would own that couch, right? That's his bobcat.
And so finally Inez confesses that she loves him. And then he's dancing all around and Bob's like, ah, you know.
Bop, 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 that dick down.
And then you go right to the yellow jumpsuits again. And they're about to start their hike.
Man, I can't believe we're already at this point, right?
That's ban.
It's been
1 hour and 15 minutes watching this movie. Come on.
keep up the intensity, Kumar. They're trying to. This seems like a really. They're really trying to make this. I love this shot right here with Kumar
Yeah.
and the Applejack in the elevator, and it's just going up, and it follows them the whole time.
I just love how
Meanwhile,
it's like Owen Wilson just goes up and they find him in the next. What the heck is this?
why didn't he go up with them?
Exactly.
They don't really ever explain it, but Kumar is kind of like confused during this whole thing, right? He's kind of the reason why this kind of flops a little bit, right? You could agree with that.
Yep. I agree with that 110%.
I uh I don't know why. They don't really ever explain it too much. But do you think this was an inside job the whole time with Mr. Henry, kind
Well,
of setting them
well,
setting
well,
up for failure?
we find out this isn't really what their plan was.
Yeah.
You'll see in the end of the movie, and we'll get to that here soon. But I like this scene too because it's like there, Bob's like, I don't know if I really wanted to be part of this, and then Anthony's like, I don't know if they want to be part of this either. He goes, oh, me too, and it's like Dignan's like, get on off the other line, like this
Yeah.
is for. And then Bob tries to find a way to get in because he does not want to do this anymore. I'm by myself down there.
Bob's such a scaredy cat. He just sounds like a scared kid. Get back in position.
Well, I look at it this way. Why would they be robbing a cold storage manufacturer? You see what I'm saying?
So random, right? Like I'm like, what? It's just like the bookstore. Like it's so random, right? You're gonna buy. What are you gonna get from a cold storage place? You know?
Right. Well, it's just a random spot. It's like, well, we get free food.
Is
Huh?
what is that a cold storage place?
It's like a manufacturer, so like a storage unit, like they can make storages and stuff,
Mm.
or they hold stuff.
Oh, you mean like store stuff that needs to stay cold, pretty much? Like they.
Pretty
I
much
see.
like a storage unit.
I get
Or
you.
they can also have be like a
Like a food order.
nah, but this whole robbery is just gone to hell.
Real fast too. Yeah. Like
Umar
Bob.
doesn't know what he's doing. Bob accidentally shoots his gun, doesn't hit anybody, but makes Applejack have a heart attack.
Hmm.
They're trying to drag him out now.
Smoke grenade goes off.
Yeah.
Crazy stuff. Crazy, crazy stuff. Yeah, this is all going to crap, man. It kind of. I remember when I first watched this, I was kind of not heartbroken, but a little disappointed because it's like I didn't want it to end that way or this way. Like I was hoping that maybe they would be successful with a thing, but they're not. It's like every time I watch this, I feel like they're going to be successful, but they're not.
And I just love how Kumar they find him in the cold storage. It's like, how the heck did you get in there?
He's so
Well,
confused. Yeah, I love that red Volkswagen, man. That's nice.
he kicks Bob in the butt, like, move.
Move.
Ignan tells them to all run. He's gonna go because Applejack's still in the elevator.
Hmm.
So Dignan goes, I'm gonna go in there and go solo on this to have the others start running. So Bob and Kumar are already doing it, and now Anthony's about to go do it.
Give me this one, man. Give me this one.
God, let me go solo.
You know what's gonna happen. Never. They'll never. Because he's innocent.
Mhm. And at this point, we see what the true intentions were the whole time. Mr. Henry takes some of his other robbers and a moving company to go rob Bob's place.
They took everything too. I wonder if they took that grand piano.
I think they did. See, that's how I said it's like I just think that's why I just don't like that scene. I like James Caan, but it's like everything else is just kind of like a silly scene for him to be the gangster we all know.
I like this song too by the Rolling Stones.
Yeah. And now here are the cops rolling in because now Applejack is locked inside the car,
Oh man.
and Dignan decides to run on the cops count.
Mm, 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 mm. This is the end of Dignan. Well, not the end of Dignan, but Dignan's Dignan's crime. He's gonna get tackled. Why is he screaming while he's running?
Yeah, I never understood that. Why would he scream?
Because he's Dignan. They still hit him. Why are they punching
Dignan
him?
has like a smile on his face, like, yeah,
Dignan got what he asked for, right? Pretty much.
pretty much.
I mean, when you enter this life, you know it's gonna happen at some point. I don't. I mean, you know the risks you're taking,
Right.
but just not a calculated plan. I mean,
At
this.
this point, this is now a few months in advance again.
Yeah.
And Anthony and Bob go visit Dignan in the prison.
Hmm.
And we are getting to the final scene, fans, because this is going to be the final scene. Again, another great shot with the tan background with the white jumpsuit.
Yeah.
Of the-
Blue door.
But now we know that he's been sentenced to 2 years in prison at this point in the penitentiary.
A cop must have hit him. Must have gave him CRS disease.
What CRS? You can't
I
remember.
can't remember shit. CRS. That's when they tell him that you're not going to see Mr. Henry because he robbed Bob's house.
That's all he was doing it for.
Yeah, he's like, I think everyone was in on it. I almost robbed that place myself, right in front of Bob too. Such a stupid line. I almost robbed that place myself. Applejack's case got dismissed, so he got away with it as well. Bob thinks, they were all in on it, which I think so too, right? I mean, that's the most logical thought.
But to be totally honest, I get the scene. I'm not telling Dignan
Hmm.
because Dignan was thinking, oh, he's gonna get his big shot doing this, and he's leading this.
Yeah.
I get the scene Dignan not knowing. Future Man, it brought Bob and Future Man closer together. He tells Bob that Bob, even though you're a fuck up, doesn't mean you're not my brother. What the hell?
Well, you said that completely synchronized with what I'm watching right now. That was perfect. You normally don't open up like that.
And then Anthony tells him that Inez is coming up and everything. So,
Give him care package.
yep.
But all in all, I do like the ending of this movie. I just like the way it ends. We're about to get to. Well, they're gonna head out here in a few seconds, but
They made him belt
belt
buckle.
buckles, yeah,
The butt buckles. I'm like belt
good
buckle.
old fashioned prison belt buckle. Give them to those guys.
Yeah.
Could you imagine? I know James Caan, rest in peace. Uh, but could you imagine, like, if you did a sequel to this and put James Caan in it as like an old retired Mr. Henry?
It's like very slow motion.
Oh my god!
Now of course, their visit does end, and this is one of my favorite scenes with Dignity. It's like, oh yeah, we're gonna do it again. Bring that grappling hook.
Grappling hook. Bob, shield me from the bullets. They won't shoot civilians. Of course, he wants Bob to get shot.
Brilliant.
We're gonna scale the barricade.
Are you ready? Oh no! No, no.
last line of the movie. Isn't it funny how I used to be in the nut house and now I'm in jail? And now it's Dignan.
You ever wonder what he's thinking during that last scene where he's looking back?
Right? That's I've thought about that too. And it's crazy because this is the very final shot of the movie. Well, and you get Anthony and Bob one more time as well.
You ever wonder, like, does he think of, like, oh, was he serious or kind of like, or what was he really truly thinking? Like, oh, well, I could have been free if I didn't do this, or I can't wait for it to get out, or did my buddies have my back, kind of thing. Really,
Yeah, it's almost like he may be accepting the consequences and now he's kind of have to live with them. But it's really hard to say. It just never really honestly doesn't explain it because that's the end of the movie.
Yeah.
Directed by Wes Anderson.
And
Written
now,
by Owen Wilson and Wes Anderson.
now, fans, you guys have never seen Bottle Rocket. We recommend it, at least for
Highly.
fun, laugh. You guys just need a good laugh to watch a movie. It's one of those movies that it takes you a couple times to watch it and really enjoy it. It took me a
100%.
couple times to watch, and then I enjoyed the movie.
Yeah. And you will learn something new every time you watch it. I mean, you just will. There's a lot of stuff to pick up on, and it's a fun movie. It's a fun cast.
Hmm. Yeah.
Just all around good movie. So I think other than that, I mean that pretty much wraps it up.
Thank you, fans, for listening to our watch along of Wes Anderson's very first film, Bottle Rocket. Let us know in the comments your thoughts about Bottle Rocket. You can check us out on Instagram and TikTok at J4F Podcast. Also, check us out on Spotify at Just for Flicks to get other great movie content. Without further ado, I'm going to turn it over to Patty B to take us out.
Yeah, thank you guys for everything. And remember, we do it just for flicks. Good night, everyone.